For 2 years now, Russell Westbrook has been underrated by 2K, by fans, by the NBA, because of a flawed mindset in the league that triple doubles don't matter if you're not winning. Que pasa to the pack? It is Pack here,
aka your mama's best friend.
I'm going to be doing exactly that. I'm going to break down why 2K gave Russell Westbrook the rating that he has and what it really needs to be. But before this video starts, please be an OG, join the pack, and subscribe. That would help this channel out a lot. And also like the video. Surprisingly, it matters more than you would think. And let's get this video started. Now, I'm starting off with Russell Westbrook's rating. In NBA 2K21, Russell Westbrook has an 88 overall. This is apparently too low, as I've been getting tons of comments for the past 2 years now saying that it is a disrespectful rating and completely too low. Now, I'm a man of the people, right? So I want to go out of my way to make sure to really figure out why he is underrated. But to do that, I need to see why he has the rating he has, and I need to compare it to like another part of his career. And I think his MVP season is the best season to compare to see why he has the rating that he has. So where is Russell Westbrook from his best today? Okay, he was a 94 overall in NBA 2K18 right after his MVP season. Okay, this is his highest rating in 2K history. In that MVP season, Russell Westbrook averaged 31 points per game, 10.4 assists on 10.7 rebounds a game. Jeez, all right. He was also extremely lacking in talent on the Thunder roster, okay? Oladipo was the second best player on the team, and this is when Russell Westbrook wasn't even near an all-star caliber player just yet. Now, the Thunder were somehow the 6th seed in an extremely stacked West, as it always is, and he was given MVP for getting a triple-double and somehow dragging his team to the playoffs, even though there was literally nobody. There was kind of this mindset that Russell Westbrook wasn't even a star at the time because he was kind of just piggybacking off of James Harden and, more than anything, Kevin Durant for years. So to not have anybody else besides Russell Westbrook on a team and somehow him leading a team to a winning position was a big deal at the time, okay? So what has changed from 2K18 now to 2K21? There are 3 things that I guarantee you people are looking at the screen and yelling, okay? First things first, he's been losing, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is that he sucks at shooting. And finally is that he is a stat padder. I want to start with stat padding. I hate the word stat padding. I think it's not even because of the word. I think it's because people don't actually know what it means and they always try to throw it at Westbrook, okay? Russell Westbrook averages 22 points per game, 11 assists, and 11 rebounds this season, okay? He's doing this while having a more efficient year than usual in three-point shooting and in the paint, okay? So the reason why he has these numbers is because he stat pads. Hypothetical time. LeBron James has 15 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists at halftime, okay? The team that he is playing against is beating them by 5 points. Does LeBron James have these stats specifically because he was stat padding? Is he deliberately going out of his way to get assists, to get rebounds, just to get a triple-double at the end of the game instead of helping the team win the game? No, that is ridiculous. That is just how LeBron James plays basketball. Russell Westbrook also does this every single day or night. Sometimes a little more or less during halftime, but he's always near triple-double at halftime. So let me ask you this, right? After halftime for Russell Westbrook, do you not want him to pass the ball to an open teammate anymore just because you don't want him to get assists anymore? So do you want him to make sure he doesn't get that rebound that's in his face? Because if he does, you're going to name him a stat padder. What do you want Russell Westbrook to do? To stand in a corner and do nothing for the rest of a basketball game to make sure that he can't keep playing the way he plays to make sure he can't get a triple-double? That doesn't make any sense. Let me give you an example of stat padding. Let's say your boy Pack is playing in a league. I have no points. There's 2 minutes left in the game, and I just start throwing up threes to hope I can finally score to not end the game scoreless. That is stat padding, because you're already down by 30 and the game's over, and you're just throwing up buckets to try to get some stats. That is stat padding. Every NBA player in the league stat pads. Every NBA player knows that if the game is over and they're close to 40 points or they're close to 10 assists or they're close to 10 steals, they're gonna go for it because why not? But in the middle of a game, and you already almost have a triple-double, that's not stat padding. That's just you playing your game, and that results to specific stats. That is Russell Westbrook. Now, is Russell Westbrook perfect? Obviously, he is not perfect. He would be winning a lot more games if he was perfect, okay? Russell Westbrook is kind of useless off the ball. His defense has been questionable for a couple years now, and his three-point shooting is actually pretty bad, okay? But him getting triple-doubles every game is not the reason Russell Westbrook has been losing, okay? So then, this is the reason. Why is he an 88 overall? Are we concluding that it's because he's not a winner? So Russell Westbrook in his early career with Kevin Durant was consistently winning. We already know that. But after that, it's been kind of rough. In 2018, he was 5th seed with the Thunder. They lose to the Jazz in the first round. Melo was already out of his prime. And honestly, they really shouldn't have lost that series. That's a pretty bad L for the Thunder, okay? 2019, the Thunder were the 6th seed. They lose to a much better talent-wise Blazers, the famous waving goodbye game. So I'm not saying the Thunder couldn't have won that game. I think they had the talent to at least compete, but still, I think it was pretty obvious the Blazers were the better team.
I mean, that's a bad shot.
In 2020, the Rockets, with Russell Westbrook, who was playing well, win the first round, barely against the Thunder, who obviously didn't have that much talent, and then get gentlemen swept by the Lakers in the second round. But Russell Westbrook was actually playing pretty decent in that series. And then in 2021, the Wizards now barely have a chance of making the play-in game with Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. So what is going on? Is it just he can't win? He's not a winner, therefore his rating should be low? Well, in my opinion, Russell Westbrook isn't made to be the best player on his team. He never has been. I think that's actually obvious. You can see all the times that he's been the second best player on the team, they succeed. Obviously with James Harden and Kevin Durant, they succeeded. With only Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, they succeeded. When Russell Westbrook was behind James Harden, they succeeded more or less. They only lost to the freaking, NBA champions. That's the only people they lost to, right? But when he had to be the best player, they lost. When Paul George was the second best player, because even though they were more or less close, Russell Westbrook, you could argue, was the best player on those teams because he was the primary ball handler and he was also putting up the numbers. They would lose. Russell Westbrook is not made to be the best player on the team. They will not win. They will not win when he's the best player. But does that mean that he can't have a high rating? Look, there's plenty of guys that are on bad teams and they had high ratings. Last year, Bradley Beal had a 91 overall and they were terrible last year. Same thing with Trae Young, was also 91 overall. The Hawks were terrible last year. So just because you're losing doesn't mean you can't have good ratings. And I think that Russell Westbrook should have a good rating. The only thing that's changed from his MVP season is that he's not a playoff team anymore and his points per game. But the only reason his points per game are down is because Bradley Beal shoots more than him. Actually, Russell Westbrook is shooting less than he ever has in a long time. So obviously his points per game going down, but his efficiency is up. So it's not like he can't score. It's just that he's shooting the ball less. And still, he's putting up more assists and rebounds than he ever has in his career. And he's having one of the craziest triple-double seasons of all time. So, all this being said, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that Russell Westbrook should be in the 90 overall club. I think it shouldn't be higher than 90, but I think it could be or should be in the 90 overall club. That is my conclusion. But what do you think? Am I being over dramatic? Do you think it's actually underrating him? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, please give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.